Hello, everyone. Thanks for connecting to the Helpful Tips session. My name is Remy Obadele, and I'm your host. And thanks for your support. Helpful Tips has been running for over a year now, about a year thereabout. And I'm really glad to see that a lot of people coming on Helpful Tips have been able to um, follow some of the tips, and it's been helping them in their personal lives and as well in their business lives. So I'm very grateful to God for giving me this platform to be able to reach people and talk about very, very important things, especially for um, immigrants all over the world, especially North America in particular. And Helpful Tips has been here to guide us, to tell us a lot about settlement, career, but our major focus for over a year now has been business ownership and financial education, you know. So, and I'm really glad we've had so many um, people coming to speak to us, so many subject matter experts throughout the year coming every month to tell us more about, you know, different spaces on how to settle um, fast, even home ownership, mortgage, how to manage finances, managing your credit score, your credit report, and making sure everything is fine with your finances, just keeping a good watchful eye. So I'm really grateful for all the speakers we've had for the past 1 year. This is December edition of the Helpful Tips. And today is a very special one. So I'll be the host and also I'll be facilitating it. I think the last time I facilitated the Helpful Tips was about a year or so ago. So I'll be speaking on this very one. And today I'll be speaking more, I'll be talking about my journey in the online digital space. Um, so I'm not going to do any form of presentation or slides tonight. Tonight is just strictly talking about my story. And most people that have been on Helpful Tips, you recall I started the journey and I actually mentioned it here on Helpful Tips. That was back in um, April this year. Just gave a brief load on the online digital space. And my journey actually to this point was how did it all start? We moved to Canada December 2017, my family and I. Um, with my wife and I, we have four beautiful children. And in 2018, as I was, before coming to Canada, actually, um, I believe, I'm a strong believer, and I believe God led me to, two very important things. And for me, that is what I've always talked about is the key pillar of helpful tips. And that's the reason why I started this program, Helpful Tips, about a year now. Two key pillars. One is business ownership. Two is financial education. So for me, like I always say, those two are like one of two of the most important critical elements, pillars if you need to settle well in North America. One, you must know how the money works here, the way our money works in our home country, especially most of us were from Nigeria, is totally different from how it works here. That is one. Two is business ownership. In North America, and I was saying it all through that last year, you know, that people should go ahead, register their businesses, get a business started, get something going, because, you know, in North America, that is my own observation. And even before I landed, based on my research, business ownership is very, very critical. And, you know, when we landed December in 2017, I already had that lead in that direction to go and start up my own business. I decided, you know, the leading was there that I was not going to work for anybody. And along the line, early in 2018, I got my business registered and I was online. I was very, very much interested in the online digital space. So because before moving to Canada, I'd been following with a whole lot of things happening on the online space. And I was so much interested, and I knew that I could, you know, put my skills in there and that something, you know, could come out from it, you know, based on my background and all of that. So I went ahead to register my first company. And when I registered it, I stumbled on an online business that was on Facebook, and I kind of started it, you know. However, for me at that time, the operating cost for that business was so exorbitant. It was really, really too much. I was new in Canada, I was just settling down, and more so everything in the business, I was the one trying to set it up. So I was bringing up my platform. Actually, my website as it is today is a product of, you know, my quest and, you know, going into the online digital space. And the website, that was my first registered company in Canada, is www.obadgroup.com, and all the helpful tips that we've been having, I have all of them, you know, on online there. That people go and they still watch it over or listen to the audios over and over again. Well, I started putting it up there as a way of giving back to my community, because I felt a lot of people needed education. So going back to, you know, my research into the online digital space, you know, so I stumbled on that particular one, and I started off, you know, doing certain things there, but the operational costs, and like I said, today I'm just telling my story. It's just storytelling, and, you know, talking about, you know, a lot of things on how I'm where I am today. So I was the one setting up the system. I was the operational cost alone for me was even killing. Every month I was spending about $300. So I did that for, and in USD, I did that for 2 months. I was like, nope, this is not sustainable. I've not even gotten to the point of sourcing for a product, of, you know, having I was just still bringing up, you know, the parts together. And after 2 months, I backed out. It was like my dream of owning an online business was, oh, how can I make that dream come to life? No, you know. So, but along the line, I got a regular job, though a contracting job, a regular 9 to 5, and fantastic job. I'm actually still on the job till today, you know, and it's so fantastic. I'm an IT delivery manager in Canada here, in one of the big brands in Canada here, and it's so fantastic. It's so interesting, you know. But along the line, back in 2019, I guess, yeah, I reached out to uh, the agency I work with, and I requested, hey guys, I'm doing a fantastic job. The client is so happy, they are so excited about me. They even boast about me to people, you know. They even boast about me to you guys, you know. They're so excited for having me. The issues they've been facing for years, I just came in a breeze. I put in processes, everything is up and running. I'm within the IT security space. I get over 6,000 servers, you know, updated on their security levels every month, every single month. I work around the clock. You know, I coordinate teams from all over the world, India, Russia, Ukraine, everywhere. I coordinate teams. I make sure everything is going, nothing slips. So and they were really praising me. Oh, good job. So I went back to the recruiting agency and said, hey guys, yeah, you remember when I was just taking up this job since I'm new in Canada, was just okay. You guys said, okay, was just to put a foot in. What about, you know, increase my hourly rate by $10 per hour? That, you know, I've tried, I've proved myself, you know. Everybody's happy, the entire organization, they're happy about me, you know. And this is a very big brand in Canada, you know. So when I told the agency about that, they laughed and said, $10 per hour increase? They just laughed. They said it has never happened before. Pardon my use of joke. You know, my kids will say it has never happened in the history of geography. You know, that it has never happened before. That it is not possible. So we negotiated. They agreed. That was January 2019. They agreed, okay, we'll increase your rates by $5. We negotiated, we came to a middle point, $5. Oh, I was excited. Oh, $5 increase per hour. Wow, that will go a long way. Yeah, the job was good. I was actually earning good, you know, or the job is good. I was earning good, but a $5 increase was, you know. But for me, the reality that dawned on me was, one, in North America, for them to even increase your salary by $1, just $1, is a big thing. Is something that is worth celebrating, because what I realized after that is people go for years without even getting $1 increase in whatever they're doing. So the company did it as if this is the best thing that they could, you know, this is a big achievement. They increased my hourly rate by $5. Oh, well, I was also excited. I said, okay, thank you. But you know, 3 months down the line, the agency got back to me and say, hey, Remy, we are not sure we'll be able to sustain that $5. It's too much. The best we can go for you, Remy, we're sorry, is $2.5 per hour increase. And whatever we've paid you since January till this time, we have to claw everything back. I was just, what? You know, really? Seriously? Just $5? You can't, you say you can't sustain it, and now you even need to claw back whatever excess you've paid me? Wow. So instantly for me, what dawned on me straight up was, I better look for a second job. I better, you know, because I'm in the IT space, there are a whole lot of jobs and all of that. So my mind was, I better look for a second job right away. I can't sit with these guys, and people are making, you know, a lot of money out there. So immediately, boom, you know, since I'm contracting, you know, before long, I got another job, you know, and I could run 2 contracts. So I started running 2 contracts, doing 2 contracts in different companies. And wow, it was so exciting. You know, I could juggle both of them. and the way the kind of my own work is more or less flexible. But I had issues, especially with the second place I started working. They wanted a whole lot of physical presence, and there were a whole lot of things. So I was getting, frustrated. Yeah, even though, yes, in a month I was making very good income from both places, and I was working flexible hours, this hours with these ones, the other hours with those people, and I was making money, working all night. Just all of a sudden, the second place I got the job, my second contract, they just came after a few months and said they were going to withdraw the work order, so they were going to cancel the contract and all of that. As in, that day was well, I won't really say it was a big shock, but the way it happened for me was I was a release manager in the company. I was in the middle of a release, and people that are within the IT technical space, you understand what I mean. I was in the middle of a release, and it was a Friday. I got to office around 8 a.m. and I left work around 8 p.m. That very night, the agency called me. Hey, Remy, we're sorry. We'll need to. The client has said they are canceling the work order, and for me it was really just like that. And they were like, "Sorry, you don't need to resume on Monday." It just Another thing just dawned on me. It was like a new eye opener for me, and what opened my eyes. Unlike Nigeria was coming from, that before someone is told, hey, we are firing someone, we are letting you go, they must have put in a lot of measures, interventions. Some, like in the organizations I worked, and in one of the organizations I worked, minimum 2 years. 2 years before anybody can even just say, hey, no, bye-bye. Minimum 2 years, And for me, it was a rude shock that, hey, in North America, the first lesson I learned earlier in the year was for them to put $1 into your money to increase your salary is out of the world to start with. 2, the same way you can get a job in North America today, that same way you can lose the job. They don't have any feelings. There's no hard feelings. There's nothing special about getting a job or losing a job. So those were the 2 realities that dawned on me. Immediately when that happened, luckily I still had my previous contract that I was still running. So I just went back full-time on my contract with them. But what he realized, and at that time we just got our mortgage. We just got our mortgage. In my mind, I was like, can you imagine if I had this other company and burnt the bridge and all of that, or did something else, I'll just be in a fix. So by thank God, I still had that other contract that I was still doing. I still held on to it, and I just continued. But what I told myself that very day, the decision I made that very day was, I will never put myself in this kind of a situation again. Never will that happen again. And instantly, I went back to my first love of, okay, what can I do online? What can I do online? And I started getting so much interested, in just doing my research about online and all of that. Back in 2018, the business I'll be talking about today had come in contact with it. But for the issue that happened with the operational cost that I was paying $300 every month just to get what's called ClickMagick email marketing. Those are, I don't know if you know those technical terms, but they are just ways of when someone clicks your website, you can track it, emails, so that you can be able to be sending automatic emails. I'd not even sourced for the product I wanted to start marketing. I was just still setting up my platform. I was running $300 every month to sustain my platform. This I was not paying to any group, and the place I wanted to join that time, they were telling me for you to have a coach, for a coach to talk to you and all of that, they were talking something about $10,000, you know. So along the line, I came in contact with another one back in 2018. But since I had a bad experience in the first one, the next thing I just said, no, I'm not going to go into that. So I was very skeptical that I wasted my money in the first one. I cannot afford to waste any more money, that these guys will just entice you. At the end of the day, they'll just keep you, in a fix, So, but this year, as you know, my mind was always going to, myself and my wife, we need to have, another source of income. We need to have another stream of income. And we kept telling ourselves, hey, the two realities that dawned on me, was nobody increases your salary here. To give you an additional $1 is a big deal. That is one. Two is the same way they hire, the same way they fire. They believe the system is in place. In Canada, we have what's called EI. I don't know what it is for folks in the US, but EI is just employment insurance. Hey, you get fired, go to your EI and the government will sort you out. They'll give, they will take care of you one way or the other, But coming from my background and everything, we from Nigeria, we don't believe in all those things. We don't wait for one EI or one government welfare or benefit, or we want to do our own work and get our make our own decent living. So the next thing, I kept searching, and March this year, precisely towards the ending of March this year, I was not a frequent person on Facebook. In fact, I always say my Facebook was a faceless Facebook. But precisely March this year, I just saw a Nigerian lady's ad on Facebook. And I was like, whoa, really, seriously? And the question that popped right up to me at that time was, if a Nigerian is doing this online business, the same one I've been seeing a lot of ads on, anytime I open my Facebook, that means there's something to it. Instantly, I registered with my name and email, and instantly I reached out to the lady. Coincidentally, the lady is even in Calgary. That was one of my wows in me. That, can you imagine? I'm in Calgary, or precisely in Edgery, and for those of us that know Calgary very well, I'm in Edgery, and someone here is here with me, just a stone throw away, and she's doing this thing. That means there's something that must be interesting about this business. And I reached out to her. Two things that I wanted to know, just two things. One, I reached out to her. I sent her a message on Facebook Messenger. Is this a legitimate business? The business that I'm seeing a whole lot of ads popping out on Facebook, is it a legitimate business? I don't want any issues with CRA. So CRA is the tax agency in Canada Revenue Agency. I don't want any issues with CRA. I like to do my things legitimate to the best that is out there. I don't need to do anything legitimate to get to get by. That is one. Two, is it a profitable business? And instantly the lady told me it is a legitimate business, that in fact you are giving your T4 so that you can file your taxes every year. Oh, I said, wow, okay. Any company that is able to provide me T4, my yearly T4, that means that company, one, is legitimate, two, is registered in Canada. So, here in North America, it's not like back in, in Nigeria, that anybody can flout anything, and the next thing, people start doing things around them, whether they are registered or not. So once I knew they were registered, the second question, is it a profitable business? As at that time, I was just looking for a side hustle, my wife and I, just something on the side. If it's 1,000 a day, 2,000 a day, that was just what we were looking for. You know, I say a day, in a month, just additional side hustle that, okay, this thing is just there. We're working, thank God for our job, whatever we're coming in, just something to augment. And precisely because this was when COVID was starting. Actually, the fear of COVID was one of the things that pushed us into this business. Because where I was working, there were a lot of layoffs. There were a lot of layoffs all around us. Even the government was laying off. You know, the city of Calgary, the city of Airdrie, you know, you hear so many funny things. They were even laying off. They were reducing staff strength and everything. Big organizations were laying off. Even my own organization that I work with, they were laying off, but they were calling things like leave and all of that. You know, so it was just the height of it that there was so much of uncertainty, so much of stories around. And we were just looking for, okay, let's get something going by the side. At least even if it's $1,000, $2,000 in a month, that is fine. And you know, that was how we launched into the business. And honestly speaking, I will say that the business has exceeded, you know, my own expectations, far beyond our expectation as a family. In this business, it's not a get rich quick business. Like I tell people, it's a side hustle. And what is a side hustle? That's how I started. That was the mindset, you know, we started the business with, that this is a side hustle, is not our major source of income. So we're not putting all our eyes, all our attention, all our emotions, so to speak, into it. Let it just be a thing on the side. Let it see as it grows. And for me, when I looked at the business model, it made a lot of sense. And I'll come straight to it shortly. It made a lot of sense. And I didn't think about it based on my previous experience in the digital space. I looked at what was being offered on this business, and I looked at the business model. For me, it made a lot of sense. And I was like, okay, I'll key into it. My wife and I, we decided, okay, we'll key into it and we'll just put it there. Let it just be running on its own. We'll be running it and let's see what will happen. And I thank God, we were very grateful as a family. Within 7 months in this business, a whole lot of stories have changed for us as a family, and we're so grateful, so thankful to God. In the month of October alone, we made $16,000 in a single month, in just 1 month. In the month of November, we made almost $23,000, $22,900 in just a single month, in just 1 month. So for me, we've been so thankful and so grateful to God that a journey that we started off March this year, we actually started off majorly in the business in April. And it's not a get rich quick business, but it's a form of business that just sticking there. Before you know it, the results start coming. Just plug in yourself there. Don't, like my wife and I decided, hey, let's not put up too much of emotions. We'll do the work because it entails work. It's not a free, it's not just a no work and you'll be getting money business. No, we put in the work, whatever work we can do. And the good thing about it is it's at my leisure time, at our flexible time. You know, I don't have any other thing doing. I'm free. Okay, let me put in 30 minutes, 1 hour in a day, or in 2 days or 3 days, and put into it. I'm so grateful to God Within 7 months, by 6 months in October, we made $16,000 in a single month. And by November, we made $22,900. The question I ask myself is there any employer that can pay me that amount in a single month? That is one. Number two is there any employer that can increase my salary every month? Because I look at it, 16,000 in October and November, 23,000. And before that time, we were making something, but I don't, those figures, I just looked at them, okay, these are baby figures to this one. But there was a month, I think that was June or so, June or July, we made $5,000 in 1 month. Then I was like, wow. But by the time October kicked in fact, the $5,000 that I made in June did not even look like anything again to us, you know. So that has been our journey. And what is this digital business about? I believe most of us, we've been seeing a whole lot of ads running, people saying this and that. So it's possible, it's not new. Excuse me, please. Just needed to take a sip there. You know, so it's possible that it's not new to you, but you might have been skeptical, because I also was skeptical. I saw it 2 years ago and was like, really? You just said I should come and join, and the next thing, okay. Yes, it's not a get rich quick business, but it's a business that takes time and your commitment. I see someone asking that, is it possible for you to show us a proof so we can better understand? Oh, what a wonderful question from Obu. Well, Obu, what I can say is we are not allowed to show our checks. I will not want to show my checks. However, what I'll do, and I hope, I believe I'm in safe hands. Even my checks are not close to me, but what I could do is I could log in to my bank accounts. So there's a difference between seeing check and paying that check into your bank account. You know, that is another thing. So for this meeting, I could log into my bank account now, and you can see you can see, and I can show you the way the money is coming in, because it doesn't carry any name for that. So I could do that. For me, it's not it should not be a big issue doing that, but it's beyond just, you know, I know a lot of us, we've been saying, oh, is it true? Is it not true? Can we see my screen? If we can see my screen, I believe we all see my screen now because I'm sharing it, right? Great. So I bank with ATB, and I've got a business. And like I said, I already have my registered business company, and that's what I use for my business. So please, nobody should be taking screenshots or taking any pictures, any photos. Please, this is confidential. This is my bank account, and I don't want any, you know, anything to be shown anywhere online. So this is my business bank account. But as you can see, well, I made some of these withdrawals recently. Let me do some form of let me see if it can search some of these things, and you'll be seeing the deposits there, mobile deposits. So all these mobile deposits that you see, all these mobile deposits are from my business. You can see 1,000, 520, 1,000. All these mobile deposits, all of them are from my business. All of them are from my business. You can see all the way down, all these amounts, they are all from my business. I will stop sharing that now. So I believe, Obu, I think I answered your question there. I don't know if you are convinced with that, but that's just a snapshot. If I was doing a one-on-one session with you, because you might be someone I know, or a confidential, or we see, I can show you my checks, but that is my bank account. So all those mobile deposits you see, I'm depositing them, and you could also see I'm withdrawing. I'm withdrawing from there to, to do so many things, in the business. So like like I like I mentioned to you, this is a legitimate business. In Canada, in North America, they issue you your checks in the mailbox. So for me, in the mailbox today, it's not just about going to pick bill or pay this bill, utility bill or power bill or whatever. I go in, I see checks, and I use my checks, whatever is coming from my checks. I, it's a breeze. It doesn't ring a bell to me in paying $100, $300, $500 bill. Is not an issue, because in just 2 months, I made close to $40,000. So, and even before then, like I mentioned, there are months I made $5,000, $4,000, but I was like, this is like almost my uh, clawing back my capital into the business. So I was not even keeping record of that. Those were even small in a single month. So, but just to talk a bit about the online business, and talk a bit about it. This business is a form of business that um, the work is done for you. And honestly speaking, that is what excites me about the business. The major work has been done for you. You don't need to, um, the work you're doing in this business is just a minute part of the entire ecosystem. Just a minute part. That is what you're doing. Like I mentioned to you, my early experience and launching into the online digital space back in 2018, I was setting up my platform by myself. I was the same person that would have gone to look for the product. I would have been doing all the logistics about, and this is what happens with, for example, people on Amazon, selling affiliate businesses on Amazon, because our business is an affiliate marketing business. That is what this online digital business is all about. So you see people on Amazon, they are the ones that go to source for the products by themselves. There's other affiliate businesses like the one I mentioned. You are the one building your system and your platform by yourself. You go and source for products. You will take care of all the logistics, inventory, shipping, and all of those headaches, which is massive on its own. And you are still the one that will do the shipping to the client, and you are still the one that will ensure that you are playing around with so many other factors, micro and macroeconomic factors, just to keep being in the business. With that, that is a full-time, in fact, it's more than a full-time job. That is what big companies, big organizations do. A one man cannot handle all of that chain. That chain is massive, except if you just want to be doing stocking, and that means your growth is limited. That means your growth is limited. You just want to do what you can handle, ship, because there will be a whole lot of interactions. But on this business, it is so sweet that all you do is just a minute part. And that's for me, coming from my previous experience and my background and looking at the business model. In fact, it just made a whole lot of sense. The system, the platform is 100% built for you. You are not spending any extra dime. The only time you're spending for a platform is when you need to sign up to know more about the business. And it is with 149 US dollars. And it is also, refundable. If you look at the business and say, hey, I don't really I think maybe this business is not for me because, yeah, all businesses are not for everybody. Exactly. I get that point. Everybody cannot be into everything. You can look at it and say, oh, no, I don't think I'll be interested. Ask for your refund, you get back your refund. But apart from that, your platform is built for you. The manufacturer that we partner with in the business is a global company. Like I mentioned, it's registered in Canada. They have 2 offices in Canada, 1 in Vancouver, 1 in Toronto. They have multiple offices, about 10 offices in the US. They have offices in Asia, in Europe, in South America, in Australia, even in Africa. They have an office in South Africa, and South Africa services the whole of Africa for them. So everything about logistics, inventory, shipping, all of that is taken care for you. You go into the business, you have your clients coming in. All you do is just the paperwork. Once you do the paperwork, the company sends or ships everything to your client. That is the major work that has to be done, in fulfilling, in the product fulfillment. On the other side, what we do, and I believe most of us, we've seen it, and you'll be wondering, oh, there's so many people in this business, so many people in this business. All you do is, and this business is left to you, depending on your choice. Nobody will tell you do this or do that. It is your choice, it's your business. You run the show the way you like it. If you want to move on a fast lane, the fast lane is available for you. If you want to move on a pace-by-pace basis, because for me, it was even very interesting because I wanted to just move on a pace-by-pace basis. Like I mentioned, my wife and I said, hey, let's not put too much emotions in this. We have what is giving us income every month. If it's what to eat, drink, pay our bills, we have it there. We just needed something extra. And we didn't really put in so much emotions and trying to see, oh, what was, no, maybe once in 2 days, once in 3 days, I look at the business, I do it, and it's yielding results. So, it is, do it at your pace, do it as you like. And today, as I speak to you, I'm a coach in this business. I'm currently a coach in the business, and I'm here mentoring people, coaching people. And that's why I tell people, in this business, you are in the business for yourself, for your family. You know your why. You must have seen a why in your family. For example, for me and my wife, we're trusting God and believing that in this business in 2021, because people are making very good money from this business, that in 2021 we can pay off our mortgage. That is what we're trusting God for. And we're already seeing it working, because I'll tell you, I told you in March, I started the business. In that same March, there's a lady here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. She started the business July 2019. She was on maternity leave and she started off in the business in July 2019. And in March, I had my coaching call with this lady. Her name is Pamela Kinga. And in March, she made $11,000. That was my first, whoa, really? April, she made $25,000. May, she made $27,000. Whoa. June, she made $57,000. July, she made $75,000. August, she made $91,000 in a single month. September, she made $102,000. Just a few weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she said, and they are just 4 years in Canada. She said they paid a lump sum into their mortgage to pay off their mortgage very soon. So for me and my wife, that is even our goal. We thank God. We just started now, October, we made $16,000 in this business. November, we made $23,000. We're looking at, yes, very soon, we will be having those huge figures. One of the first things, and that's why I tell people, like I mentioned, the two most important things I tell people in North America is, financial education. Secondly, business ownership. And under financial education, the best way to manage your finances is to settle any form of debt. And for me and my wife, that is our goal. We want to be debt-free by 2021. And the major debt anybody in North America has is their mortgage. That is the major debt for any family, for any person. That is like 90%, of whatever loan or facility debt anybody is, taking care of in North America. And for me and my wife, we say, hey, this is our goal. And by God's grace, we just kidding. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. I see a question here by Gladowski. Can we get into the business? What's the duration of this session? Yes. So this session is just a 1 hour session, but we can move into maybe a few minutes after 1 hour. So I just have like 10 minutes left. Yes, Gladowski, you can get into this business. I'm so passionate about this business because I told you my two passions. Be a business owner. Personally, I have seen the benefits of being a business owner in North America. A lot of benefits. In my expenses, I write off my expenses on my business. A whole lot of things, benefits that are still available for me. So business ownership, and this business is a way of you starting your business, getting a business, So yes, you can start right away in the business. I can give you, I'll put my website there in the chat. You can register with your name and email. And if you are invited here by someone, please reach out to that person and register with that person. Because like I mentioned to you today, I'm a coach in this business. Everybody whoever invited you here, they are definitely in my team. And the team is growing. And I tell people, you are not doing so much work. Coming to the work aspect, all we do, and like I say, you play this business like it's your business, You do it's your business, and nobody will dictate what to do to you. This business is, I tell people, is like you are opening a store, a physical brick and mortar store. The only work we do in this business is drive traffic to your website. So instead of your store to be a brick and mortar store, physical hard store that people come in, your store is just online. Anyhow you can drive traffic to your store, the better for you. In this business, it's not a recruitment business that they tell you bring 2 people, bring 3 people, bring 10 people, or you have to buy this number of products within this time. No. In this business is a store. For you to start the business, definitely in the model, you get your own product that you will use, and that is one-off for life. All you need to do is drive traffic to your store. And where is your store? The online, your website, your platform that we will build for you is your store. The more people you get on your platform registered with you, the more sales you can make. And like I say, this is a business, it's a traditional business. It's like any other business. The more people you drive to your store and they get their own product or their items, the more money you can make. So that is, that is a brief, journey about how I got here in the business. And honestly speaking, I thank God today, my wife and I, we have quality time with our children. Believe me, I work from home, 100%. My wife also works from home 100%, and this business affords us that time as well. Like the Pamela I told you about initially, by May this year, Pamela resigned her job. She was to resume for maternity leave. She just had a baby, and that's how she stumbled on this business.
May this year, she resigned her job. By June, her husband also resigned his job. And this is what they do fully. Now they have 2 children. They spend all the time with their children. Same thing like me. I have 4 children. I drop my kids in school. I have my son in kindergarten. I go to pick him up. I go to pick them up. And nobody paying. People say, oh, they need to go to work. They have to pay for childcare. Well, that is not my own story. I have time with my family. And the example I gave you of Pamela, in September, for those of us in Alberta, there's a resort close to us called Banff in Calgary here, close to Calgary. Pamela and her family, they went to use 1 week in Banff. All expenses paid by their own business. They just took a vacation and they enjoyed themselves. Within 1 week that they were off vacation in September, remember I told you in September they made 102,000. Within that 102,000, 1 week of it, that in September, they made $20,000 in a single week while they were in Banff enjoying and relaxing themselves. They just came back home and they checked, and they were making the money. And you guys believe me now. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, I believe you believe me now. I actually logged into my bank account and I showed you how I pay in the checks. I'm not just paying in the checks, I also withdraw the checks. So it's and for me, like I said, my career has spanned close to 20 years in IT. I'm a senior person, even where I am currently today. I'm a senior person, so to speak. I'm middle management person, and I didn't want to involve myself with anything illegitimate. Something legitimate, something that can give me by the side, and that's how I stumbled into it. And I didn't want to put my IT career for about 20 years in jeopardy for a business that is illegitimate. And today, I can tell you confidently, I started this business as a plan B, as a side hustle. My family and I, it was just a side hustle for me and my wife. But today, as I'm speaking to you, this is our plan A. In fact, I just shared, our goals and dream, because here you need to dream big. You need to dream and live your dream. I just shared the goal of my wife with you guys, that we want to pay off our mortgage, God willing, in 2021, next year. And I see it is possible. It is very possible, because this business to us now is our plan A. We just finished building our basement. I'm actually in our basement suite here. Is a workout, or what do they call it, basement. It has its own side entrance on its own. I'm actually in the gym now, because I'll be putting in gym facilities here, and it's totally cut out from the rest of the basement, fully loaded, fully equipped. I got all the financing from this business. I financed doing some of those projects from this business. That's the reality. And for me, it's a wow. My contractor came yesterday. I was just I gave him cash, and he was so excited that, wow, this is what the business can do. And for me, I've seen that it is working for me, not just for me. I've seen it working for so many other people. For those of us in Calgary, I believe we know about a Cross Iron Mill. We know about Cross Iron Mill Mall, one of the big outlet malls in Calgary. There's a lady that is doing this business. Her name is Michelle. She was an attendant in Cross Iron Mills 3 years ago. She's a Filipino lady. 3 years ago, she was an attendant working at Cross Iron Mill. Today, as we speak to you, that lady in this business, this year she paid off her mortgage. She's in BC now. They bought their log house, their log home. In this business, she paid off $1 million mortgage. The house they bought last year. $1 million. She wrote the check. She showed everybody the check of her paying off a $1 million mortgage of their log home in BC. So how better can it get? And that's why I told myself, coming into this business, I see people getting results, I will also get results. It's not a get rich quick business, no. But you stay plugged in there, the results will definitely show up for you. Stay plugged in, keep doing whatever you're doing. You're not running any race with anyone, any competition, no. Just stay plugged in, be doing whatever is told you to do, and yeah, it's working for me. So like I'll end up my long story here. Like I said, this session is just to share about my story. This has been our journey. I thank God. In just a short time in Canada, we'll be clocking 3 years this December. God has really helped us, and my family and I were so grateful to God, and we really thank God for even giving us this business that, you know, we're using it to pay off all our debts, pay off everything, and we can see it happening. And not just us directly, I can see it's putting smiles in the faces of people. A lot of people have joined me in this business, and most of you must have been invited by them. It is putting smiles in so many families' faces, because this is a global business. It's not a business for just Canada or US. It's a global. Anybody, people in Africa are doing it, people in Asia, people in Australia. In this business, I have people from Canada, from UK, from the US, and from Australia. And if, in fact, tonight, like I said, I'm a coach. I had a coaching call with someone in Japan. So it is a global business. It's not restricted. I have people from Nigeria that also started this business with me. So like I mentioned, it's a business you just plug in. I always advocate a side hustle, but that side hustle you see today can become the main thing. And do you know what he does? Because this is what I always advocate and tell people. One, your retirement planning. You need to plan for your retirement. When do you want to have time for yourself and your family too? So you're planning for your retirement. Do you want to still work? I've heard so many stories of people at age 65 here in Canada, they're going back to school to learn something else, to do an additional course so that they can have a $10 increase. They can apply for a new job and get a $10 increase. Do you want that to be your story? Like I tell people, have a side hustle. I started this business as a side hustle on the side, but today it is the main thing. The income is giving us, it's been, it's been wow. So that's one. Two, on the third part rather, is what are your plans for your children education? Children education, children college is one major thing in North America. A whole lot of people are bogged down, they are pulled down because of the student loans that they have. Do you want to start up your children with that kind of life, to start carrying debts from when they are starting their life, or you want them to start on a very good point, starting on your shoulders, debt-free and everything? I see a lot of people in this business, their children go to the best schools in North America, debt-free. Like my wife, one of the things when we made $16,000 in October, the first thing that she just started drumming to me is, Remy, I want the children to go to a private school. That was what my wife, and I just thought that, okay, no problem. We thank God for what's happening in the business, and we believe God and trust God that things are getting better. Let this session go. By God's grace, next session, why not? We have a very beautiful, one of the best schools in Alberta, here in Edgewater, a private school. That why not? We'll put all our 4 children there, because it was already wearing me down, because I go to drop them, I go to pick someone in kindergarten, I go to drop daycare, I go to, So she was like, no, let all the children be in one single spot. We just have a single drop off and a single pick off. And I say, wow, that is a fantastic idea. And now as we're already planning towards it, that next session, after this session, God willing, all of them will be going to a private school here in Edgewater, and that will relieve me and give me extra time to, to do other things as well. than, you know, driving on here and there. You know, so for me, I always tell people, this business, it will give you that financial freedom. You can plan for your future. Two, you can plan for your children's education, their college, debt-free. They don't need to start on debt to live their life. You know, that's two. And three, it gives you time freedom. Whoever controls your time controls your life. As I am today, nobody can say you have to resume here by 9 o'clock. Yes, I'm still doing my normal contracting job. It doesn't stop me, but I have so much flexibility, and you know, it's so much flexibility in my time. I control my time. I manage my own time. I dictate the pace. I tell you, okay, I'll be available for you from this time to this time, and that's it. And I'm so happy. You know, my family is happy, and we are so grateful to God. So that's my story. We are on 8 o'clock now. I want to ask anybody with any questions. Like I said today, I'm not going into the nitty-gritty of the business. There's a flow, there's a process that I would like you to follow, you know, to appreciate it more. If you have any questions, you can reach back to me. Is there anybody that has any questions? You know, I can help you out. I can answer them. Anybody, you can unmute yourself, your mic, if you have any questions. We'll be able to, so we can round up in the next 10 minutes or thereabouts. Anybody with any question? Okay, Gladowski, I hope I answered your question. Okay, please, sir, can you ask them who invited them so we know who is who? Okay, all right, Martha.
Hello.
Hi, Linda.
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, please.
Because I keep hearing products. What are these products?
Okay, so like I mentioned to you, I could easily share all the products to you. However, there's a flow. There's no point. There's no anything hiding. We partner with a manufacturer. Remember, I told you on the Affiliate business, there's the system, there's the manufacturer. We partner with a manufacturer that has a range of products. So there's no one specific product that I'll mention here. However, there's also a process that, you know, if you go, I don't know who invited you, you register on their website. I've shared mine there. If you register, when you sign up, everything about the products will be unfolded to you. I don't want us to jump the gun now. I can easily go ahead, start talking about product, but that is not the essence of this meeting today, because there are varieties, the range, rather to put it, a range of products in this business. So Linda, I hope I've been able to chime in a bit on that. So,
yes.
Yeah. So like I said, you can put in, sign up with $149. Everything about the product will be explained. I'm a coach. I'll come on board, explain everything further to you more in details. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Linda.
I have a question.
Okay,
For the product you're talking about,
Okay.
does it cover the $149 we are going to pay?
No. So the $149 covers the build of your platform. And when your platform is built, like I said, from my previous experience, I was paying $300 every month just to keep my platform up. That $149 is to get your platform built for life. You are not paying any form of subscriptions, nothing. However, so that is what covers your $149 in building your platform. But when you pay that, it will open up the entire business further to you. With that, you've already paid for your platform, and your platform comprises of 4 major parts. You have a website, you have notification systems, you have a campaign system, and you have a training. The training this year alone, around February this year, February, March this year, I paid $5,000 for a training that did not even come close to this, the training that is in this business, and it is given to you for free. Your $149 will give you eligibility for that training. So when you proceed along with the business, that training will be open to you. But I paid for a digital, just a digital business. Let me understand how digital marketing works and all of that. I paid $5,000 this year. So I can tell you, with the $149 is second to none globally. I've been in this space for about 3 years now. Globally, it is second to none. So
Okay.
yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Yep.
I still,
Any other question?
yeah, I still have another question about the product you're talking about.
Okay.
The product, like how much is the product going to cost? And again, I want to find out the product when you buy them, are you going to resell them or you're going to use them personally?
Okay. So the products in our business is not for buying and selling. So like I say, you get the product for your own personal use, and it is one-off. You just get a product, there are ranges of product, you get one product, it is one-off for your own personal use. What happens is when you get your product, we get your platform built for you, and all the job you do is drive traffic to that your platform. That is it. And coming to the price of products, we can talk about it later on. I'll say sign up, with the $149, get to see the big picture of the business, and we'll be able to tell you about the different prices. There are so many prices, different ranges of the products and their prices. We'll be able to talk on that further. But that is how the business is. Is a one-off purchase.
Are they affordable?
They are affordable, yes. And if you know, if for those of us in Canada, there are 4 countries in the world, Canada one, that they have some form of solid financing. And what do I mean by that? The company we partner with is partner with a government-funded organization that Canadian government supports that institution, and they can even fund it for you and get you started. So that is the beauty. And Canadian government institution will not just partner with any company. This company, I say, is a global brand, is an A++ company globally, everywhere. And that's why a Canada-funded institution can even partner with them, and you can get your product to get your business started. So they are affordable. Yeah, they are affordable, and that's what they are there for. 4 countries in the world: Canada, Australia, Italy, and Philippines. I know currently they're working with some form of financial support funding and all of that in the US and in the UK. So it is really available. So it tells you a lot about the company we partner with. The company is over 46 years old. It's not a new company. It's not a new company. It's not a new organization. They've been stable, sustainable. Their share prices growth is astronomical every year. So all we do is our platform, like I mentioned to you, like an Amazon. Amazon does not know the manufacturers on it, and the manufacturer does not know who Amazon is. The same thing. The platform we are building for you is just plugging into that company. That company doesn't know. They have their traditional way of doing things, and we are just taking an advantage. We are taking advantage of that company to get our business started online. That is it. So I hope I answered your question, Ubu.
Yes, very right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Any other question? Please, can we put in the chat, if you're invited by someone, please, can you just put in the chat who invited you so that I can note it down, and so I can just take note of that. So please, if you're invited by someone, you can just put it in the chat there. So like I mentioned, this business is transforming a lot of lives. I don't know any other person with any question as we round up the session. So like I say, helpful tips. I have this platform usually once a month, but at times twice a month, just to help people, educate people on business ownership, having a side hustle. Don't just, I believe we need to have multiple streams of income. So have a side hustle, have a business going for you, and who knows? What I tell people is that business you see that looks small today, in a short time, that business might even be the one taking care of you, one, taking care of your family, taking care of your children, taking care of your children's children. You don't know that the business that you look like, oh, it is small today, it might end up 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, might be the one that it will be you, because you've invested in it, but at that time you'll be reaping the rewards that it will be taking care of you and your grandchildren, your family, sorting out all your bills. So I tell people, get a business started. A lot of mistakes that some people make is they didn't start a business on time. Some of our parents that are retired today, and by the time they retire, they have nothing to fall back on. And that's why so many people, especially in the diaspora, we have so much pressure from people back home, send me this, send me that, but we should not repeat the same mistake. I tell people, just get started. Like this business, this is a business. This is not a get rich quick thing, a Ponzi. No, it is a business. It's like you own a store. You drive traffic to your store, you make the money. That is how it is. And, yeah, thank you, Obu. I can see you're invited by Martha. Okay, awesome. And Joy, I can see you're invited by Lola. And Linda, I can see you're also invited by Martha. Awesome. Well, it was a great pleasure talking to everyone, sharing my story tonight. And I believe I see most of us taking that leap of faith, launch out. If you don't launch out, if you stay in your comfort zone, that is what it is. The story that always comes to my mind, please let me just say it as I round up, always comes to my mind. And that was one of the reasons I started the Helpful Tips. Like I told you, I've been a business owner from just 3 years in Canada, and I bless God, just coming to know business ownership. And that's why I keep telling people a lot about it. But the story that always comes to my mind is from the Bible. And the story is about the 4 lepers that went out of the city of Samaria, and because there was a siege, and nothing was going in, economy was down. In fact, the Bible says there that women were killing their children to eat. The economy was terrible. It was a horrible economic situation because there was a siege around the city. And women, this one said, oh, bring your son, let us eat him today. That one, she brought her son, they cooked her son, they ate. For a mother to kill her son to eat, can you imagine the economic situation? The next day, the other one, okay, where's your son? Let us cook him to eat. He said, my son went to play football. What do you mean your son went to play football? We need to leave. Go and bring your son. And the king got to know. But what happened? To show you that the serious siege that was happening, that was the economic situation of the land. But what happened? There were 4 lepers. 4 lepers, leprous people. And they said, oh, if we stay in this city, we die. If we go outside and meet the enemy and surrender to the enemy, we may die. And they may also say, okay, we spare your life. Okay, let us go let's go outside. But alas, they went outside, the enemy camp, God had routed the enemy camp. So please, this is a story from the Bible, and God had routed the enemy camp, and they left the camp and everything, they left everything. And what did these lepers do? They were going, they were packing, they were hiding it, they were packing and hiding it. But they told themselves, if we continue in this way, it will not be a good thing that will happen to us in the morning. By the time the king and everybody hears and sees this, let us go and tell people the good news. And what happened? They went and told people. And before then, Elisha the prophet had said, by this time tomorrow, they were even selling dung of asses, the dung. They were selling it for a huge amount. But Elisha had said, I told them that by this time tomorrow, this food that you say is so high, it will flood the street, to the extent that one of the attendants there said it cannot be possible. And he said, okay, you will see it, but you will not eat of it. So, and what happened when the lepers went back? You know, the food was in abundance and everybody rushed in. So for me, that is the situation. I'm seeing very good things happening. I'm enjoying very good things. I bless God for coming to Canada. We've not had any bad experience for us in Canada by God's grace. You know, our income has been fantastic. But I've seen this even a far better thing than what we were expecting. I want to pass across that information that, you know, that, hey guys, see what's happening. There's something here, something that is stress-free. Come and enjoy it with me. There's no point me enjoying it alone. You know, so that is a summary of my message tonight. So I really appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you for taking the time. And I believe I'll be seeing all of us on the inside, where we'll be there to help and support you in this business. So thank you very much, and have a good evening. God bless you, everyone. Bye-bye, and see you.